How you guys doing? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, man. I'm good. How you doing?
What's up, bro? How you doing, man? How you been?
I'm good, man. How you been?
Good, man. You know,
Awesome. Those diagonal lines that you have on your charts, what are those for?
1 second, brother. Um, these ones?
Just breaking trends, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Okay.
Tesla, great past week. That's what we're gonna talk about a little bit here today. Tesla has been pretty good. I'm not gonna lie for the past week. Uh,
I stayed happy though. Hi, Manny.
Hi, how's it going, Ella?
Good, good. Thanks for asking. Yeah, Tesla was great. Really was great.
Yeah, it literally moved exactly, perfectly. I'm not gonna lie, right? Like for the past week, it just kept on going sideways, like this. It's just, the past 2 days at least was pretty nice.
Yeah, Thursday and Friday. Yeah, it was a great deal.
Yeah, we had moved both to the upside and to the downside. As you guys, what do you guys think I traded? What move did I trade on Tesla? What do you guys think out of these moves? Which one did I trade that you guys think in the chat?
Did you call it?
I believe I didn't because I'm
Oh,
doing something else.
really?
Yeah, I
Oh,
think it was a pretty nice trade though. It was like a 58K trade, I think it was, but um,
I personally called it. I don't know. Probably you did after. You
oh,
probably
we
went.
we talked. Yeah, no, we talked about this in the pre-market. It's just um, uh, I believe I didn't call it exactly in the chat when I took this trade, but I'm gonna ask you.
Oh,
Just
okay.
asking you guys, where do you guys think I took that trade to make about?
858 to 884, but you probably left at 872.
What was that? The
I said
65K.
858 to 870. You probably traded at 858 and got out before it got all the way up to 884.
Where is that, brother? Because I'm Eastern time right now. That'd be your central.
No. I'm talking about the actual numbers. The
Oh, okay.
price.
So you said eight what? I'm sorry.
I said you probably got in at 858, 859, and
Uh-huh.
got out at like 872 before it got up to 884, and you probably made
So
50K just in that little run right there.
so not really at all. So what happened? Yeah, that's something like a breakout. I honestly saying, guys, I would never trade a breakout just because there's too much risk to it, right? The reason, let me tell you guys right now, is the reason I don't trade breakouts is simply because of this one big reason here. I'll explain to you guys here right now. So what happens is on these breakouts, it's very nice that, sometimes you get these nice breakouts, but then there are days where they trap you and get you into these breakouts where they'll make it seem like it wants to go higher, but it'll probably do like a little wick to the upside, right? So the thing is, then it starts coming back down. Then what happens is the issue is you're stuck here, right? So you're long in the 859s, 860s, and technically the stock literally goes up $1, right? That's not what we're looking for, right? Like, who wants to risk a couple of points here? Even on this wick would have been what, about 2-3 points to make $1. Nobody, right? So if you hold that for a little bit longer, ends up selling off, and you are actually stuck in the trade from 860s. Now you're down $4 or $5. So I don't like risking that much. So what happens is something like this, I would be trading it from here. I'd be trading it from down here. This is where I'd be watching it from. This is where I'd be watching for the confirmation, the 50, 200, and the VWAP. And this is where I'd get in so that I know for a fact what happens is over time, you get so good at reading charts, you almost know 100%. If you bounce off these, you're going to push up at least toward the pre-market highs, which technically means it gives you this little bit of a leverage of 5 points, right? Or 6 points that once it does run up there, starts doing this bullshit of a move down, try to, stop people out that, the scalpers or the algos that are buying here, trying to long the top here. So them faking them out right here like this, I don't have to worry about because we are already up 4 or 5 points on the day, right? So yes, with this, it's less risk as well, because guess what? You go long here. What's your risk is about 2 points, 3 points for a big move all the way up toward the pre-market high of 5, 6, 7 points, right? So that's one of the big reasons I don't like breakouts, because, there are very low chances when I trade breakouts. I only trade sometimes, these bear flags, right? That form to lead to maybe a pre-market low, pre-market high, or, bear flag or bull flag, doesn't matter, right? So, or you trade certain patterns. But the trade on Tesla that we took literally was this short trade. If you guys go look in my picture right there, this is the trade that we took. So it doesn't matter, right? How you take these trades, or, you know what I mean? Basically, the way you trade them, but it's just over time you get better.
And King, real quick, man, I've always wanted to ask you this question. On your candles, they're all red and gold. What setting is that in TOS? Versus,
Technically you can change your setting like this. You can go in here,
Yeah.
make your candles whatever color you want, right? Technically you can change them from there, but I have a certain code that's on top of this. That's kind of
okay. I thought so. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. So but we're not going to talk about it. We talked about this so many times in our past webinar. You can check it out. But so the trade on Tesla was this, guys, and it's the funniest thing ever. We literally almost top ticked the stock. That's why we have this line right there, the 840s, because this was a 5-minute trend that we were looking at. This is where, from the 5-minute, there was a trend line that was coming in, like the coded one that I have, right? And it was showing us that, has room to go all the way down to the 840s. So we ended up taking the trade from 850s all the way down to the 840s. And as it broke this 840s, that's where we covered. So basically a straight 10-point move, almost a 5 or 6 point move on those options on the on the 650s, I believe. So it's just, over time, the 850s, my bad. I'm still stuck in 6 on Tesla. That's the biggest thing. And we're going to talk about that too, what I think of this stock in the future here too. But the 850s, and then we ended up riding them all the way down toward literally the top of the options. So it doesn't matter. You don't have to catch all of these big moves to the upside. You don't have to catch all of those moves. It's all about your kind of gut feeling and kind of understanding how patterns work. Tesla made a bear flag break. So now this shows us that it has continued downtrend, right? It showed us that it's confirming the downtrend finally, right? After going sideways for a while, it tried to move up. It wasn't able to move up. It comes down. Now it finally confirms the downtrend by breaking this 5-minute flag, right? So, the 1-minute flag, once that breaks, now we're just looking for it to pop up, right? So what happens is when the stock pushes back up, look how many resistance it's fighting, right? It's 200 EMA, right? Look, it's fighting this. That's 2. That's VWAP is 3. 50 EMA is 4. And then technically, if you had the 100 EMA, it's fighting that as well. So it's trying to get above all of them. So what happens is when it gets all the way up to the 50, it finally gets drained out after like 4 or 5 resistances. And then it finally tries to make a push. It was not able to. It comes back down. It confirms that, it wants to make a little bit of a downtrend. So this is where we ended up taking the trade literally in the 850, 851, right? And then guess what? This was one of the fastest trades ever. Literally, look, 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute, boom, we're out. And we made literally 60K on it. So the trade doesn't have to be this trade where, yes, you could have taken this very easy trade to the upside. But at that point, I was done with this stock and I didn't want it to. I honestly held about, I think it was like 15 contracts all the way up to here because I really wanted this thing to kind of just continue to the downside there. I really wanted to see the 820s, maybe the 800s on it, but it wasn't, it didn't want that. So guess what? Ended up closing these contracts out as soon as I saw this little bit of buy right there. And then I ended up sporting, ripping up higher. So all in all, very good, nice 10-point down trade to the downside. But what do you guys think of Tesla in general, though? It just keeps on squeezing up higher. I don't get it, man. What do you guys
I don't
think?
get it either. I think it's just like everyone just talks about it, and we all know it's not really.
You guys get what this is, right? This is the revolution of millennials, right? You guys understand that, right? Back in the day, you had to drive up to Wall Street to literally buy anything, so technically they controlled stocks, right? because the broker would tell you what stock is good. So a big firm would back up a stock. And technically, if you're an investor, you're going to go ask somebody, right? Right. The funniest thing is some Warren Buffett, remember he said that he was like, Wall Street is a place where, people in Rolls Royces go and take advice from people that ride subways, right? So they literally controlled the market back then. And then you got computers, people started investing more and more on their own, and a little bit, charting came into play. And that's where we became, um, um, retail traders, came into play. But now it's the time of, everybody understanding how easy investing is, right? Robinhood is and all of that. It's just everybody's opening up an account, $100 into Tesla, turns into 150. That hooks them, right?
Yep.
Zero commission, and that's it, man. And then they're like, okay, if I was able to do it once, I can maybe do it twice. So
Yeah.
it's like that, right?
Yeah.
But the same thing, numbers don't make sense. Tesla is literally, only half the size of Amazon, maybe even actually fucking, I think 1/3 today. I mean, or, after that $900 mark. Let's see. Let me
I
just,
agree with you, Manny. I think it's just like one of those stocks where it's like a meme stock at this point. And when the bubble
it
bursts,
really is.
yeah,
But the thing is, I don't know if the bubble's gonna burst, man, because it's just so many people are preying on the downfall. It's just it keeps on getting that, it's just it's behaving very similar to, something that's, being held up on, by the government, like the stock market. Like it really is. Honestly, it's just, you got so much presence now on TikTok for it. You got so much presence on Instagram. Everybody you look at is talking about this stock, which kind of just keeps on bringing new people in. When new people come in, what do they see? They don't see that this stock has dangerous, it's at 800. All they see is everybody's talking about it. This stock must be good, right? If it moved to 1 to 800, move from $20 to 800, that means the stock is worth, way more, because people just keep on buying it up, and it's going to happen again and again. And that's what's going on. I mean,
but what happened to like, am I just like one of the dumb ones where I look at fundamental investing and the PE ratio and all the financials just don't make sense to invest in?
I mean,
or is the trade is investing change investing style? I don't know.
It's definitely changed. It's going to change a lot more, because now what's going to happen is it's just the money, right? Like the millennial money is coming in, because it's just like one of those things, man. It's not just right people, brokers at Wall Street, like controlling the market right now, right? Just because what happens is, back in the day, how does the market work? Market is buying and selling, right? Right. Once somebody sees, guess what? There's, it's all it is if you just look at the population of America, right? Like 300 million, even 100 million of you guys trade stocks, right? And you guys are looking at one company, man. Think about it. These companies are, worth billions and billions of dollars. Everybody spends even $10 each, right? That's about $1 billion in, kind of buying power that you have. You can move the stock maybe 3-4%. That's maybe enough to stop out some shorts, which are going to add to the liquidity. So then you're adding more money into, basically your side of the move to the upside, because the shorts have to cover. And then it goes from a 4 or 5% move to about a 6-7% move. And then it goes from that to even bigger, because now more shorts are covering. It just keeps them going higher and higher. It literally, it's just all it is. It's just people are understanding about the market, and everybody's just flooding with it right now. And numbers really don't make sense. Tesla's worth, market cap's about, what is it now? About 834 billion. And look at Amazon's market cap, right? Right?
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, it's like, I don't even know. It's like almost what, trillion or something?
No. It's actually not even close to that, man. I think it's like 1.5 trillion.
Oh yeah, 1.6 trillion. Yep.
1.6 trillion, right? So
Yeah.
think about it this way, right? Technically, Tesla is worth almost half as Amazon. For what? If somebody actually like sports this company, like for the actual news, actual fundamentals, not just technical, please tell me, because I want to ask you, why are you sporting it? Because I'm not getting what makes sense in this. Just because it's the fact that it's, the thing, guys, we've been talking about this company since what? Literally the beginning of the year, when it first ended up stopping people out. What did I say to you guys? We are never going to short this. I will never short this company. Why? Because Does not matter, man. It doesn't matter what it takes, dude. These people will just keep on squeezing you out. Boom, 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 again. And it's just sad to look at, man. People are just losing billions and millions of dollars just because they're not kind of understanding the fact that this is just a short squeeze. And the more the money they put in to the downside, they're gonna keep on getting squeezed, and it's gonna work against them, right?
Mm,
Um,
interesting.
but 1.6 trillion versus 800 billion. Technically, this company didn't even sell as many cars as GM last year, man. I don't get it. It doesn't make sense.
Yep.
You can say that they're looking at the future, man. Amazon in technically in one of its quarters did about technically $100 billion, right? In revenue. Tesla did about, I think it was 20 billion in revenue, right? If you can say that's only okay, so that's not as bad because but the profit is insane what to look at, right? 2019 Tesla lost about 800 million in like money wise. Amazon made about, I think it was like I think it was like 20 some billion, or I don't know what the profit was, honestly. But it's just insane to look at that this company is, it's just the person that's backing it. That's it. All it
Yeah.
is Elon, right? He's just done so well in marketing. This guy literally tweeted against his own company, man. I still keep on laughing at that. He tweeted against his company. He said that my stock is not worth that much. And guess what? The company rips about 500% since that tweet, which
Yep.
is insane,
Yeah.
right? So,
Yep.
give me one
Agree.
second. So it's one of those things is that it is a meme thing, right? Just like Dogecoin, like same thing. People just keep on going into it, and they're saying it's not going to get to $1, man, but it's the same thing, man. It's who knows.
Yep.
But this thing, honestly, I would never short this thing, man. Honestly, if you think that I was gonna be here today and be like, I'm gonna go into a short position, dude, I'd be technically risking everything that I made working really hard to freaking, on one stock, and I would never do that. I would never try to, kind of short this thing because it's not worth it. Maybe a little bit of money I'll put in just for, the fun of it, so that if it does end up working out to be a nice short and goes down to about its real value, maybe like $400 or something, or maybe $200, it'd be a shit ton of money. But it's just like it's something that I would never try to go big on because it's not worth, man. It's
Yeah,
not.
it's not worth the risk to reward. Like I know Michael Burry is the guy that shorted the housing market. He's short on Tesla, I know.
He is.
Yeah,
And honestly, he knows
yeah.
something, man. Honestly, because those hedge funds don't usually do that. Something like big hedge funds like that don't usually do that. But how do you do you actually know that he's net short, or is he just hedging his position for the long side right now?
I read an article that he's short Tesla long like I don't know what his positions are, but I'm sure they list in the SEC docs. I don't know.
Gotcha.
He
Makes sense.
shorted
I
it,
mean,
and
I'm sorry.
he shorted it, and he also tweeted out saying that it's probably a good time for Tesla to do offering because the share price is so high. So he called it
Bro, offerings on big stocks like this mean fucking
nothing.
insanity. It's probably gonna rip the stock up another $100. So he's probably trying to even get a better price to
Yeah.
short it at, honestly. Because offering means that they're gonna take billions and billions of dollars that they have, and they're gonna take some of that and they're gonna put it toward new innovation, right? Like new freaking things. So which technically mean even better for the company. So on these big companies, offerings mean actually a really good thing, and it's probably gonna squeeze the stock up another couple of points, like 20-30 points. But as of looking right now, if the offering does happen, I would say probably would sell off because it's just moved so much. It's so inflated that they're probably going to sell the news instead of faking people, and people are going to be like, okay, dude, they're doing an offering, they're going to try to squeeze everybody's going to get in. So from what I'm seeing right now is this, right? Back in the day, if a hedge fund or something, shorted a stock like this, right? There was nothing, nobody was competing with it, right? Except other funds and, other, billionaires or, trillionaires or, whatever, right? Like there's no trillionaire, but like other trillionaire funds and, stuff like that. But now it's just like everybody on Robinhood puts in $100 each, dude. It's like it's a whole fund in its own, right? And then guess what? You move on to TikTok, and one person makes a video on it, dude. Guess what, man? I called this Tesla out, last week from $700 to $800, right? And then everybody, goes follows that guy, and then guess what, man? That guy just says that, dude. I think Tesla on battery day is gonna do this, it's gonna do that, dude. And it's just rumors go in, and then everybody just starts buying. So it's like a fund just squeezing everybody out. It's hilarious to look at, man. Honestly, from what I've seen, like from my past, right? Like I've never seen anything like this, man. It's just, and it keeps on getting funnier and like bigger and bigger. It's not something that's like dying down. Like this whole Robinhood thing has started since like about a year, 2 years ago, right? When it really caught like steam. Like the past year or so, I'd say it's even more because of the whole market like crash there. But it's insane to look at that. It just keeps on getting bigger and bigger and bigger because there's a lot of stocks, man, that are moving, right? Look at this thing, man. This thing, same thing, right? Right? Look, $5 to $50, right? There's hundreds of other, right? Even like somebody give me a stock symbol that did a crazy move in the past day. Like I'll tell you, there's
IDEX.
Piton.
IDEX.
yeah, P-Ton, man. It's just like, look, right? Everything, man. 40 cents to about $4. Like that's something that's just like a pump and dump for like pennies. Like
Well,
it happens all the time.
yeah, this one is an EV. This one is it's because of the EV craze right now.
Gotcha. UVAS, right? I think this is UAVS. This is
UAVS.
James stock, man. He told me about this at, I think it was like $3, and now it's at what, $9. Like it keeps on happening. But the messed up part is some of this stuff, right? Some of this stuff isn't gonna react like Tesla. It's gonna go up and then boom, right back down, right? So
A lot of the energy stocks as well, right? Like ENPH, for example, has gone up to like $185 over the last 3 years. So I feel like when Biden comes into play and all those rebates or credits that he's promising,
yeah,
sort of come into effect, there might be some sort of sell-off because there's really no way that this is all going to stay up so high. Even though everyone's been saying that for like 8 months since March, I guess.
So the biggest thing that I'm kind of debating on is this, right? Like, yes, this can have this massive sell-off, but the only issue that I see with stuff like this is if this is backed by, let's say, small investors like Robinhood people or stuff like that, what happens is if a fund loses 30% on stock, right? It's what, $1 trillion fund. That's about 300, let's say if they invested, like, let's say there's a 5, 6, $7 trillion fund and they put in like about $1 trillion into a stock and they end up losing 30%, right? Technically, maybe they'll be profitable for the year, maybe, right? That's very, very like unlikely if they ever lose that much, but that's about 300 billion that they just lost. That hits them hard. Somebody that put in about $1,000, losing $300 is painful for them, but technically they can just go back to work and after a month they'll make that back. For them, it's not a big deal, right? So what happens is that's what's going on. It's like small investors aren't caring because out of $100 you lose $30. You're like, okay, well, I lost $30, but on that stock I ended up making $30. All I have to do is now just get better at it, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm thinking is going on right now is that these
So God, no.
Oh, I thought you were telling me no. It's like, what did I do?
This is a dumb question, bro. How do you get those EMA lines, the yellow, purple, and white?
All you do is you go to your setting there, you put in moving average 2 lines, right? Like that, right? Once you load them up like that, you put in the 50, 200, right? Change whatever the color you want, show plot, whatever, right? And then that's it.
Perfect.
Hey, bro, thank you for hosting this. I had a question though. Do we see a similar trend in crypto where it's very kind of like hype based and not really as evidence based?
I'm not gonna, dude. That's the whole thing, right? Like, I don't know. I'm not knowledgeable enough on crypto, man. One of the head, I think Berkshire Hathaway manager right now. I forgot his name. That guy, apparently he's saying that he's been calling out Bitcoin since 2013, and I'm like, am I stupid for like not being in it at 200 when he was calling it out? Because I literally fucking don't. You would like if you actually invested like a couple of $1 million into it at that point, you would never have to work in your entire life ever in your life, like meaning like you'd be a billionaire probably, right? But the same issue is you have zero clue that this would have happened. What happens is a lot of investors, in day trading, you realize this very easily. In bigger time frame, what happens is if a trade doesn't work out, nobody cares about it. But when a trade does work out, you back yourself up. You're like, holy shit, I called this shit 2013. Nobody fucking knows in 2013 it's gonna do it. No, if it would have fucking done nothing, nobody would have gone back and been like, yo, this guy said buy fucking Bitcoin and make a lot of money. Nobody would have gone back and called them out. Nobody, right? But it's just now that it worked, it's like, dude, holy shit, you're a god. No, it doesn't work like that. It's like one of those things, right? I feel like everything is just like it happens for a reason. So Bitcoin is moving up for a reason. There is definitely stuff going on in the background that the smaller people don't know. Right. There's definitely certain things that are going on because what happens is, right, like once they host futures for like Bitcoins on like Thinkorswim and stuff like that, it's gonna be even more dude fire and it's gonna keep on going up higher. But now he's saying 200,000. Well, it can happen, man. Honestly, I have nothing but the thing is, I'm not gonna go buy a platform and put money into Bitcoin right now because it's no point in me doing that. If they end up making Bitcoin futures, right, on Thinkorswim, yes, I might play with them a little bit where I'll do my regular thing, right, which is technical analysis, look for breakouts.
You have it.
40 cents.
You have it. Bitcoin futures / BTC.
On what, Thinkorswim?
Yes.
What? When did they add this? I thought they were gonna do that. I never even knew that.
No,
can you trade that, or it's just available for it just tracks BTC?
I don't know. I just looked at it like
man. They were gonna do that literally when this craze happened. When Bitcoin went to about 20,000, right? And it dropped to about 5. Wait, is this accurate though?
It tracks the number here. It
is accurate. It is accurate. Oh yeah, look, see, I told you. Look, they started when Bitcoin was at 2,000. I told you when Bitcoin went to 2,000, they said they were gonna put futures for TOS, but then apparently they said that they weren't gonna do it, and they did it. So I don't know if it's tradable. I'll try trading it actually.
So one thing with Bitcoin right now is
then I missed out on this whole big fucking move. Now I'm mad, guys. I mean, still, man, 10,000, right? It's like, even if you highly leverage yourself, it's, it's a lot of money, but still, right? It's only about 400% gainer. You can get that about, in fucking literally any option that I want. So it's not even, worth like that much, like,
One important thing about Bitcoin is it's less about it being something like a stock that can fall at any time, but it's more where it's now being considered a store of value, just similar to gold. Gold, people don't use gold to buy things. You don't take a handful of gold and buy a house with it. People use gold and invest in gold because it's been there for decades now. And people use it as a store of value. So when they think the value of the dollar is going down, then they'll shift money into gold, and therefore gold is the opposite of what the dollar does. So when you look at 2020 and the government was pumping money into the market, more money that gets pumped into the market, it's the supply and demand, right? Supply goes up. That means the value of the US dollar relative to other things goes down. And so therefore gold goes up. Now, Bitcoin is the new perception of a store of value that's going to last longer than gold. So now
any crypto is technically, but
any crypto is, but the big thing with Bitcoin is it's held, the maximum supply ever lifetime is held at 21 million. Mm-hmm. And a large percentage of that is already lost with people who have passed away, and people who have lost them on hard drives. And while there's still miners that are mining a little bit of Bitcoin, the amount that's being purchased on a monthly basis greatly exceeds the number of new coins that are being minted. So it's just, the whole question is there's a minimal a smaller and smaller amount of supply available.
But what if that like the person that owns Bitcoin comes out and goes like, you guys think I have 70% of my value in crypto, but I don't have that much actually. I have 50 billion worth. What do you do then?
Yeah.
Then this fucking goes to shit. It's gonna be worse.
So the way it's coded using like the new blockchain technology, the way that's coded is nobody owns the ability to change the maximum, right? So in old technology, if you had like a Word document on your laptop, you could send it to someone else, and then the new person has the Word document and you have the Word document, so both of you have it now. But with blockchain technology, it's set up so it's a little bit more complex than that. But effectively, if you send someone a Word document, all the other people on the chain have to verify that the person you sent it to received it, and therefore you don't own it anymore. And in order for that transaction to go through, it has to leave your computer and be verified by everyone. And so that it's not possible to send someone a Bitcoin and keep it at the same time. Yeah. So under the same rules, the Satoshi group who made Bitcoin cannot, it's just impossible to have more or show that you have more.
But did they, so the issue, like, which is perfectly fine. I understand that, which, kind of actually makes sense why it's ripping up right now. But the only issue is, do we know for 100% like how much they have and how much the quantity of Bitcoin is out there, or no? That's my biggest question. Like, that's like one of those things.
I think it's public. Every transaction's public.
No, transactions public, but I'm saying, like, let's say if somebody ended up buying $1 billion worth of $1 million worth of Bitcoin at 1 cent, he now has a shit ton of Bitcoin. Do we know he has that since like day one? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, do we know every single like every single quantity that's out there? If we know that, then it's reliable. Then there's no chance of, then 100% makes sense why it's ripping up. Because
I think you also have to remember the fact that right now Bitcoin is not really regulated, right? And the U.S. government would never necessarily let it become the world.
Oh, of course, that's the fact, though. We already know that.
Yeah, as soon as there's regulations that are put forth by the government to control this and not let it become like a Main Street type of.
They're gonna make their own. Why would they ever? Never. But but still though, like, it's just like, if you don't want to be a part of the government, then this will be actually very, very good idea. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Now it make, like, if I honestly saying, I never looked too much into Bitcoin, guys, because I never, being 100% honest, I didn't even know the futures were out there. Look, I literally thought that was a rumor, and I still thought that it was, still something that's being built, because I don't care about this. But if you really think about it, though, if you really want to be a rebel, or you don't want to be, connected to the government, this is a perfect way of storing your money into one of these Bitcoins where, if somebody hacks you and takes your freaking money from your computer, that's something different, right, James? They can do that, right?
Yeah.
So that's still sketchy, right? Like, it's either way you go, you're messed up. Like, you don't know if somebody hacks you, your life's worth of saving is gone, right? This is one of those things. It's like you get robbed in the bank too, but then bank has certain, things in place where if you have over 250K, they'll insure up to 250K per account for a regular account. So it's like, do you have that protection in Bitcoin? No, you don't. Literally, your neighbor could literally hack your computer and take it, and sometimes you won't be able to trace it. It's like,
but you can store it offline too.
What?
You can store the key in the offline.
Yeah, but then that's the same issue though, right? Like, if you have it offline and it ends up starting to crash and you bought it at 4,000, do you really want to have it offline? And it's
An interesting story is, the Zuckerberg, the founder of Facebook, he had a couple guys called the Winklevoss twins in Harvard also, who apparently had the first Facebook idea. And if you guys watch the movie, they had the Facebook idea, and then actually Zuckerberg built it, and then they ended up settling out of court. So those twins, the Winklevoss twins, made a lot of money from Facebook. In the settlement, they've invested, I think it's like $10 or $11 million worth of Bitcoin back in 2013. And so they believe that Bitcoin will reach $500,000 per coin, and they've been holding it since. So they're already billionaires on Bitcoin, and they're just holding it to be worth so much.
James, they
So
own like 15% of it, eh? I read that as well.
was it that much? 15%? Yeah,
Like
it's
50% of
crazy.
all Bitcoin out there. I was just looking at it quickly. If you invested like $1,000 in Bitcoin in 2010, it's worth $290 million right now.
That's
Yeah.
insane, man.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
fucking
it's crazy.
wild.
That's a lot of 100% option trades for you, Manny.
Still, man, that's still pretty insane, but thinking about it. I mean, that's the thing though, right? If you would have caught it in like 2013, just like, you know, James said, man, $10 million, now you're a billionaire. Like, what do you do, man? Like, that's where I feel like people get greedy like that, right? Like, I was looking into this stock, GNC, right? Supplements, right? You guys know that, right? My Thinkorswim frozen right now.
They're foreclosed.
My Thinkorswim is frozen, guys. I have no clue why. Give me a second here. Zero clue why it did that. Let me reopen it up. But funniest thing is,
Mine just froze too. I was charting and it froze, so I'm assuming it's.
Was it? They're probably pushing out an update or something. Yeah, they do that.
Yeah, I just closed it and restarted.
The funny thing is, guys, is that like imagine being a CEO of a company, right? I don't know if this happened to GNC CEO or no, but you know, like imagine being worth like $5-6 billion at a point, right, in life, right? And then just because you got greedy and you didn't sell, right, you literally lost out on everything, right? But the same issue is, how do you know your company was going to grow to be a $20 billion, $200 billion, $1 trillion company? One of those things is that, right? That's the very, very hard and difficult times. But it's like, it's one of those things, man. Like you honestly have no clue. Like, what would you do? Right? Nobody, I'm pretty sure nobody will be able to give me that answer. Like right now, it seems very easy to you guys that, you know, you can say that, oh, you know, I would just take $1 billion and just enjoy my life. Yeah, but then guess what? Wouldn't you want your company to be 300 billion, 500 billion, $1 trillion company? Wouldn't you want it to be $2 trillion company? Like it's very easy to say it now because it's like, you know, it's one of those things, guys. Like it's very difficult to make decision when you're going through it, right? Like now it seems like a good idea where, you know, this guy's literally company's literally just fucking bankrupt, right? Like it's, what are you gonna do? But he probably still made a lot of money. Like this stock was up at 36-40 bucks at one point, man. So, you know, now you were like, you know, he should have just sold and walked away. But how do you know this wouldn't have went to 100 bucks, 800 bucks like Tesla, right? So it's easier said than done because you really can't predict anything in the future, right? But I'll tell you one thing, he's definitely well set up and he definitely has a lot of properties, a lot of stuff, which is still, you know, is going to make him more richer than, you know, where he is. He's, you know, once you have wealth, guys, it just keeps on growing if you just know how to properly invest it. If you don't, then it's a different story. But look, right, like all you had to do was even buy some of these little pumps on here and, you know, 100% gain, 200% gain. So it's like right now in Bitcoin, I don't think there's very good investment for me, just because I could look at something like this and buy, you know, at 50 cents and look, that's almost, you know, 200% gain right there, literally from this one pop. So, right. So it's like, look, right, 200% almost. So it's like, is Bitcoin a really good, you know, option for me right now? Not really. I don't care if it goes to 500. I can literally invest in 20 other things, 20 other better things that would give me a way better return right now. You know, if I buy it at 40,000, I would need it to go to 80,000 to make 100% return, when I could invest in like GNC in like 2 weeks and make the same amount, right? Which would take me years and years of making on Bitcoin. So, you know, yeah, Dogecoin, yes, different story, man. That thing is 10 cents. Like, you put in $1,000, like, yes, man, $1,000 in lifetime, you know, personally for me, or, you know, even like a couple of thousand, or, you know, even $10,000 for me, it's like, right now, it's like nothing technically, right? So I can just put that in there. If it goes up and it rips up to, you know, let's say $1, shit ton of money for just the fun of it. And if it goes to zero, it's like, okay, what do you do, right? Like, it's fine. So that's how you should, take it as. I don't think Dogecoin has any value to it except Elon is backing it again. This guy, anything he touches, he's like the freaking, I need to like just be like, bro, just tell me one stock, dude, at $5. Put everything in it. Goes to 1,000, doom. That's it. Done. Never trading again. That's funny. But
You won't stop trading. You're so good at it. It'll be impossible for you to stop.
bro, that's one of those things, man. Like it's just you get addicted, right? Like even this stock, right, from $5 to $20. I didn't know it was going to 130, right? It's like you just keep on doing it, right? Like if you don't sell at the $20 mark, how do you know it wouldn't have been GNC 2.0 and won't gone back down to $2, right, guys? So it's very hard to do that. So that's why trading, you wanna invest, get in, get out, boom, you're out. That's it, right? And there's many other stocks like this that have done that, right? Like NKLA, complete different opportunity of down, right? FSLY, right? FSLY. There you go. Right. Same thing. A lot of stocks this year have moved up from like $10, to $100, $200, and all of that stuff, right? mRNA, right? Look. So it's like.
So with everything being at like an all-time high, and whenever I look at charts, I feel like everything looks similar because everything's going straight up. Can we maybe just take a few minutes to talk about, and it obviously doesn't have to be an exact science, but like a potential pullback or a correction that might come
on the market? Yeah.
Yeah, just like 5 minutes because I like this conversation. I want to see what everyone thinks about it.
Yeah. So right now, what I think of the market in general, guys, is this, right? Let's see, we're not in the 5 years. We're going to do maximum time. We're going to do daily. So usually what happens is on the market, I like looking at the weekly chart and the monthly chart because the noise gets a lot less as you look at the bigger time frames, right? But the same issue with the market is, look, market kind of goes down, comes back up, right? And then just continues higher. So the thing is, right now, where we are right now, we seem like, holy shit, dude, we are fucking crazy high, right? Not really, honestly, man. That crazy high movement that you think, it might just be this pop right here. You might be looking at this pop right now, right? And then look how much higher it goes from there, man. Because the thing is, right, it's like once they have you squeezed, they'll keep on moving this thing up, finally, till they finally, break a little bit, little bit of short sellers get out and then boom, more short pile in, boom, boom, boom. So the market designed to keep on going up. For me, honestly saying, I wouldn't even look at it to the downside because there's no money to be made on stuff like this. Like the money to be made would be this. Tesla pulls back from 900 for me, right? Starts this downtrend, something very similar to, let me show you an example of Roku. Something very similar to what Roku did here. Just to show you guys, right here. Look, Roku goes from what? Look, $30 all the way up to about $77. Comes back down, bounces. This is where money's to be made. You're short right there, so you wait for the backside of the move. If you're on the short side, right? Because look, up, comes down, let it do its thing. Now you short right there, right? Now there's money to be made. You want to target these lines and stuff like that. 50, 200, boom, you're out, you're done. You made literally technically 10, 20, 30, 40, almost 40 points on this stock, risking very little because you're technically, it's kind of annoying to see that little bit of a wick there, but let's say you did, short it here, you got squeezed out, you lost about 4 or 5 points right there. Fine, you let it do its thing, it comes back down on the trend line, you short it again at 125, you ride it all the way down to the 50 EMA, you still basically made all your money that you lost back on it, right? And then the second thing is, and the funny thing is, a lot of people might say, oh, what if it was a gap up? It wasn't a gap up because look, this is an actual candle, right? It's an actual candle that opened literally here, right? I mean, actually, it opened at 124.74, moved up all the way up to 150 this day, and came back down and closed at 130, right? And how do you read that? It's very easy, guys, because look, all you have to do is look right here. Look, you'll see the open of it. Look, O for open 124.99, the high of the candle 151.2, low of the candle 124.80s, right? So basically where it opened up and it moved a little bit down, and then it moved right back up, and then look, close was 130. So technically the stock ended up moving almost about 25 points on the day to the upside, but ended up closing at 130 here. So you had very, nice opportunities of getting out on this short, right? But let's say you do lose 5-10 points, it's fine because you're looking for the bigger move, right? So you shorted back under the trend line again, you wait for it to move down to the 50, you see how the 50 reacts. If you want to take profit, you can take profit. You technically almost should be 200% up from your loss. So if you want to take the 100% gain, you can walk away, or what you can do is you can hold for it to kind of go down to the 200 EMA, because look, a lot of these stock love doing that. Once you break the 50, you should go to the 200, right? Unless it wants to just reverse, halfway or something like that. So usually how I trade them is, end up shorting, going to the 50. I usually cover almost 70% halfway between the 50 and the 200, and then leave a little bit of it to ride to the 200. And then of course, right, if it wants to just continue down, it's fine. But then once you see a wick like this, you want to get out. So, swing trading is something that's just like, day trading, but it happens over time, not something that happens, like right now, or, very, easily. Because look, right, same thing. You let the stock push up, you let it come back down, you let it pop, then you short it while it's coming back down. So you short here, right? Technically, look at this, right? Even if you would have shorted here, you're only risking 2 points right there. If it stays below the 50, boom, you made about how many points right there. So it's literally simple, guys. It seems very hard, but it's if you simplify it, it's way easier to, trade than to kind of just complicate it, right? So you let the stock push up like crazy, then you wait for it to come back down, and then you wait for it to come back down, then you short it. Yeah, well, this trade didn't work out. Okay, then you lose 2 points, 3 points. Because look, technically, you should have shorted it here. You lost what, 50 cents, a dollar max, right? So it's just going sideways. There's no money to be made in that point. So like it's one of those things, right? You let the stock push up big, and then you wait for the trade. So something like this, I wouldn't touch on Tesla. I would let it push all the way up here, and then I would wait for the signal. Look, it didn't even give me a signal, so I wouldn't touch it. I wouldn't touch it. I wouldn't touch it. I wouldn't touch it. Simple. Right? Does that make sense, or was that too fast, guys? Can you guys hear me? Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's good. Thanks.
Yeah.
Right. So it's you want to trade the backside. Yes, there's not as much profit as it would be to top tick the stock, which is fine, but it's way more consistent, way more better than trying to hit for home runs and getting streaked out every 2 seconds.
But this would be effective. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, one important thing to note that he mentioned several times is the importance of taking your stop loss when it goes the wrong way. Because the worst thing, the thing that professional traders never do is take big losses. Mm-hmm. And it's that fundamental analysis of knowing your psychology and just, if it's going the wrong way, it goes the wrong way, you take your loss and you move on and you wait for another setup.
99%.
Traders,
I would say out of the 99, not like they say 95 to 99, right? 95% of people fail in trading because they end up holding for too long. I would say out of those 95%, maybe there's some issues of, somebody just doesn't get it. I would say 20, 30%, but 50, 60% of those losses happen mainly because people aren't able to control themselves, discipline, and psychology wise, they're not understanding that if you cut that loss today, tomorrow is a new day. This is the US stock market. If US loses everything, right, then only we'll see zero opportunities in the market tomorrow. And do you think that will ever happen to America, right? Never. So as long as everybody else is good in America, you're going to have opportunities, right? So don't stress about that. There's opportunities tomorrow. Even if you lost $1,000 and your stop loss was supposed to be $200, I promise you it's not as bad as $5,000, right? So take it like that. Just because tomorrow you can come back and end up making 400, 500, and now you only have to work 2 days. If you end up taking a $5,000 loss, now you have to work about technically 10 profitable days. Now you're already thinking, holy shit, man, I have to make 10 profitable days to reach my loss that I took because I was being stupid. Don't even get that. Don't even let the market get that chance. Believe in sell immediately when it hits your stop. No. You don't sell immediately. That's one of those big things because there are fake outs. I'm not gonna lie. Like I said, weekly on swing trading is perfect because it's a lot less fake outs because it's just it is a weekly candle. You have to learn how to read it, just like how you would learn how to read the 1 minute candle versus the 5 minute candle. You have to learn how to read the weekly candles, but you would honestly on the weeklies stop out immediately. On like a 1 minute candle because there's a lot more noise. On the daily candles, no, you wouldn't because there's a lot more noise on there because everybody in their mother is trading that, right? Like the daily chart for swing trading. Tell me who isn't trading, the daily chart for swing trading. Everybody is, right? Who's trading the weeklies, right? Not too many people. How many people are trading the monthlies? Not that many people, guys. So it's that brain. You're gonna use that, energy. You have to understand that you want to be where you get that little bit of an edge, right? Once I start not seeing the edge in the weekly chart, boom, I'm moving to the monthly. All right. If I don't see the edge in the monthly chart, I'll move on to the yearly. As long as it's money, that's it. More quick runs through on that. Run throughs on what, man? What stock do you want to look at? Want to look at Amazon? It's very similar. Same thing. You wait for the stock to push up, break new highs, come back down, show you a little bit of a bounce, boom, then you get the sell. You short it into the VWAP or the 50 or whatever, the next target, 200, boom, you were risking, a lot less, right? Let's say you ended up calling it even here, you were risking about 2-3 points for this trend line to break. What happens is these trend lines help you to the downside. Does that make sense? Because look, these trend lines are going in your direction, right? If this ends up breaking out higher in, let's say, a month, you're still in a better position of, kind of cutting the losses quickly and better, where you lose nothing. Where if you try to trade like something like this, like without any, kind of, how should I say, direction that or anything like that, then it's a little bit harder. But look, you wait for the stock to bounce, right? Make a high like this or something like this, pop, and then give you the signal, and then just look back at it a little bit and see if it has done it. Right now, honestly saying this is not too better of a signal. Without even looking at the chart, you can see that it starts sporting the 50 here, a little bit better. So, if you want to cut the loss there, you can cut the loss for maybe, 2-3 points, and then you wait for it to come back below, the 50 and then, show you resistance. But, there are certain patterns that you can just look at and, even like be like, I just don't want to trade them. But what did I say? I always take 70% off at the halfway between the 50 and the 200. Look, 62.50s. This is almost like halfway between about $75 to about $55. So you take profit 70% off there. The 30% you get stopped out, fine, right? So you always take about 50% halfway between these two moving averages because that's one of my strategy that has worked for me. So I'm just kind of giving you actually a free strategy today, just because you're here and you're taking the time to learn. So it's one of those things, right? Like even if you would have shorted this, let's say, right, it's fine because guess what? You ended up losing very small amount, right? And this is the weekly chart we're looking at, right? So you get stopped out, you short it again, you get stopped out again. But look, you're only losing 2-3 points max, right? So you're losing not much at all. So there's different strategies for different type of level of trading, right? Like even here, this will be where, you'd get stopped out, but you have to understand, look, what the stock's doing is doing a double top. I never trade double tops. I look for these crazy big pop-up moves to happen and then the stock to relax, then to pop and then to short, not just any type of a move, guess what? Oh, dude, we saw 2 candles moving up. Now it's a short, dude. Let's go short it. No, you wait for it to do something like this, pop down, then shorted, then you get stopped out. Okay, fine. Then you short it again. Look how much money you can make more to the downside, because once you see these big little moves to the upside, you can start seeing that. So that's what I'm waiting on Tesla. I want Tesla to crash, then move up, and then I'll short it. Tesla outlook for the weekend. Then we're gonna call it, guys, because I literally cannot stop. I mean, I've been.
Do you see Tesla pushing up a little bit this week?
Tesla right now, I mean, technically, that is very strong here in the weekly, right above the, basically trend line. So technically, I do see Tesla moving a little bit higher. I mean, if it wants to go to the 900, but you need to hold the 880s, which right now it's not. So as long as I would say Tesla starts holding the 880s here, which is all the way up here, right? We can look for the bigger move to the upside all the way up toward the 900s on it. Other than that, it's in a downtrend right now. I'd look for any type of rejection here for maybe a quick short down move. And, that's about it. I mean, unless news or something comes out on Tesla, boom, at Tesla pops up above the 880, starts holding, boom, another pop candle to the upside.
Could we take a look at LMFA funding? I was curious about your thoughts on that, like how you would break that down.
LMFA?
Yeah.
Oh, it's just probably a small cap, no? A penny stock? Something like this, you would be trading it, before it made the move. It's a lot harder to do, but it is it's not hard when you kind of have like a volume scanner type, scanner. The same thing as, it's kind of like it's better to build your own, but if you have a volume scanner on the daily, you can maybe, kind of catch this little candle of, what percent was this move on this candle? It doesn't say it on here. Maybe like a couple of percent, but so once you do this, see this move, then you start watching the stock, for it to come back down on the 50 and then move. Just to show you guys, what stock was it that you guys showed me here? UVAS. Look how it supported the 50. UAVS. There we go. And look, every stock that pops up starts sporting the 50 or the ones that pop. What other stock was it, guys? You guys showed me that you guys made me look at.
JAGX, JAGX.
JAGX, same thing. Before they move, look, you get these volume pop candles, then they start sporting the 50, boom. Did we discover a new strategy? 100% moving strategy, guys? Damn. Now everybody just goes and starts buying these worthless stocks tomorrow. There's a lot more goes into it, guys. There's, you have to watch for there's a lot more. Like, once this happens, you wait for the stock to bounce off the 50, show you a little bit of support, then you would enter more, right? And then you would look for the pop, and then you want to see how fucking big the pop can be, right? Maybe the pop was only going to be up to $1, but man, 40 cents a share to about $1, that's about 100%, 120% move. And if you're not taking that move, I have no clue what's going on in your head. Right? Don't have to wait for this $4 to happen. I mean, if it happens, that's 1,000% move in what? Literally a span of, right? So it's all about technology, guys, nowadays. If you could build scanners, you could do this, you could do that. You'll be better at doing certain things. But that's it, guys. I'm gonna end it right there. Hopefully this was good. I mean, hopefully this is being recorded when we'll upload this. Get a chance, but this just shows you that it's trading isn't just simple as one thing. It's a lot of things like combined.
Thanks, man. I like that strategy between the 50 and the 200, where you take 75% profit, 50 to 75.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
thank you.
That works as well. Yes, sir. iPhone. I'll try posting them, brother. But the same thing on Zoom, it takes a little bit of second to kind of convert. It doesn't convert, as we go along. So I'll let it convert, and once it converts, and I remember it, just remind me later tonight, and I'll post it. I don't like doing spreads, Sniper, because it's just not too many strategies, man. I can't focus on too many things. But you guys have an amazing day, right? Enjoy.